So, let's take a look at what we're going to learn about. Lecture 2. So you can think of human knowledge in some ways as branching into two components. You can think of those two components as knowledge about the subjective world and knowledge about the objective world. That's one way of thinking about it. The other way you could think about it is knowledge about what things are and knowledge about what to do. Now, most of what you learn in university is knowledge about what things are. But that's only half of what you need to know, because you really need to know, well, what you should go about and do. And this is a real problem for human beings, because we're always trying to having to think up what we should be doing next. And like that's the fundamental question of life, which is, well, you know, what should I do next? Or what should I do tomorrow? Or what should I do next week? Or next month? Or next year? Because that's another problem about being human, is that not only do we have to figure out what to do next, but we can also see the future. Or multiple futures even. And then we have to determine what those futures could be, and how to avoid others that we don't want to have come into existence at all, and then how to configure our behavior so that as we navigate through the potential futures, we land up more or less somewhere we want and not somewhere we really don't want. And so that's a real problem, and that's an existential problem, in fact. And what that means is that we need knowledge about the subjective and about the behavioral. It's part of potential. How do you unravel yourself across time? Now, it's proved very difficult for human beings to formalize that kind of knowledge. Now, we formalize scientific knowledge, which is more knowledge about what things are and about the objective world. The scientific method, especially the research method, formalizes our knowledge about the objective world and about what it's made of. But it doesn't give us much insight into what to do about that. All it seems to do, actually, is increase our power to do things, but not necessarily to inform us as to the direction in which that power should be exerted. And you don't really have to look any farther than the 20th century if you want historical proof of that, because as people got more and more powerful, so that we could sit in this lovely classroom and all be warm and cozy while it's terrible outside, we also learned how to kill each other with unprecedented gusto and potency. And so science has enabled us on both sides, and that's how it is, good or bad.